Today, I want to start a series with you on overcoming fear and anxiety. And fear and anxiety, when you think about it, it comes down to two main things. And it's out of the verse in the book of Job, in Job chapter number 1. It says, The Lord hath given, the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And when you think about it, fear and anxiety, every single fear and anxiety that you have in your life comes down to those two things that are given and things that are taken away. So it's every fear you think about, when it comes down to it, it's either in some way something that, okay, what if it's a fear of what if I never gain something? What if I don't get that job promotion? What if I don't get more money? What if I don't get a nicer house or a nicer car? And the other end of the spectrum is, what if I lose the ground that I already have? What if I lose my girlfriend? What if I lose my job? What if I lose all of these things? And so when you think about it, every fear and anxiety comes down to those two things. And that's where the fear comes in, is we think about those things. But something that we need to realize is that faith and fear are both believing in an outcome that has not yet happened. So why not live in faith? Why live in fear? Why not live in the possibilities of the amazing things that are going to happen? And we need to stop adding our opinions to the facts. That's something that I read in a book one time. I think it's How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. And what we do all the time, and where our fear and anxiety comes into, is, okay, there's things that are happening in our life, but we add our opinion to those things. Okay, it's a fact that maybe you're struggling at your job and you had an argument with your boss, but it's your opinion that you're going to lose your job. Okay, it's a fact that you've not been able to have any more kids, or you've not had kids yet, but it's your opinion that you're never going to have kids. And so adding your opinion to the facts is what causes anxiety, what causes fear. So we need to focus on what could happen, what is happening, and what is happening in your life. We need to focus, and it's a proven thing. You can't think of two things at the same time. Right now, as you're listening to this, you might be thinking about something, but right now, as I mentioned, okay, think of a cat in a tree. Your mind just instantly went to, oh, a cat in a tree. Okay, now think of a cat in a tree. Now think about a mouse running under a truck. Well, now you're picturing these images because you can't think of two things at the same time. And so if you're thinking about worrying, start speaking right things, start speaking positive things, start speaking things that you should be focusing on instead of focusing on what you don't have. And thankfulness and being appreciative of what you do have in your life is something that changes your whole perspective, because you can't think about the negative and the bad things that are happening in your life while you're focusing on the positive things that you have. It's a proven fact you can't think of two things at the same time. So why not think and be thankful? Whenever you start to worry, whenever you start to feel anxious, think about all the amazing things that you do have in your life. You have an amazing spouse. You have amazing friends. You have an awesome church you go to, or a great job that you have. You've got to meet new people. These are experiences you've been able to have. And focus on all these amazing things that we do have versus the things we don't. I know there's a lady at our church. She has 2 children. And right now she's upset because she's thinking, okay, well, what if I can't have a 3rd child? And she's worried that she won't be able to get pregnant again. And instead of focusing on that, just say, man, God's already given me 2 children. There's some people that don't even have kids, but I get to have 2 kids. And God could still bless in the future, but I'm going to look at what I do have, and I'm not going to focus on what I don't have. And if we could get focused on being thankful, and I was thinking about doing this video, and I didn't even think about it being Thanksgiving week, but if we could focus on what we do have, that will completely shift our mind, because we start thinking about the negative. What if we lose this? What if we never gain this? And instead of focusing on those things, think about how much you've been blessed already. God has done so many amazing things in your life already. Focus on those things. Just focus on the faith. Focus on living in the faith, not living in the fear. And, right now I'm in a 10-day mental diet. And, I was reading a book by Tony Robbins, and he was talking about a 10-day mental diet, and I'm on day 3 right now. And he says every time a negative thought comes into your mind, instead of dwelling on it and going further with it, instantly stop. And instead of dwelling on it and looking at the negative, start asking yourselves questions. What can I learn from this? How is this how is this not perfect yet? And start dwelling on the great things that are to happen. Shift your focus. And that's how I would say help with anxiety is you can't think of 2 things at one time. Start focusing on what you do have. Start focusing on the amazing things God has given you versus looking at what you don't have. Because you are way more blessed than a lot of people are in life. And so continue to be thankful, continue to be excited, continue to be fired up that you are so blessed in your life. So get out of your house, get off the chair, go and get excited that God has blessed you so much in your life, and start thinking about that. Every time anxiety, every time fear starts to come, it's thinking, okay, what if I lose this? Or what if I never gain this? What if I never gain ground? Or what if I lose ground? But start focusing on the ground that you've already gotten and where you are right now, and focusing on what God has blessed you with. Be thankful. Be careful for nothing. Don't be full of care for anything, Philippians 4 says. But in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. So focus on being thankful. Focus on the things that you do have, not the things you don't have. Don't add your opinion to the facts. Focus on living in faith, not in fear. And you have a great, fantastic Thanksgiving. Or whenever you're watching this, choose to focus on faith, not to focus on fear. And have a fantastic rest of your week and day. Whenever you're watching this, focus on what you do have. A lot of times we get so anxious and fearful because we look at everything we don't have. So we start doing the comparison game. Other people are farther along, and we start focusing on what we don't have. Focus on what God has already blessed you with, and get excited that amazing more things are coming down the line. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic day, and hope this was an encouragement to you.